Thank you for watching Let Us Talk About It. I am your host, Shakina Appleberry, and we are here with my... we are here with my sister from another mister, Natalya. Hey, girl.
That's hey, Missy. How you doing?
Man, you look so fab.
Thank you.
Dang, I should have been with you today because you look very, 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 very much for the weather.
Oh, yeah. You got dressed for the occasion.
And I think I need to wear that.
You sure can. You like, girl, we can talk about it after.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you, babe.
Hey,
I love your outfit too.
Oh, it's just,
always gotta be glamour.
Well, no, it's just for TV.
You better stop it. You better stop. I don't know who you lying to.
Hello, we are here with Let Us Talk About It, and this is a show of the people, for the people, and by the people.
Amen.
Natalya, you are the people.
I sure am.
Yes, and
I'm a person.
Including with the other persons become people, right?
Exactly.
You know? There's some good persons and some bad persons, right?
Yeah, sure.
Which person are you?
I'm in between. I can't even lie, girl. I got my good days and my bad days.
Your bad days,
yes. I
yes.
do. Mm-hmm.
So today we're going to speak about...
Oh, we're going to talk about our community leaders and our youth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Community leaders in our youth, you know, because community leaders are supposed to be positive role models.
Yes.
And sometimes can be
a little devious at times. And
yes.
Yeah, want to be kind of hoggish or, you know, bossy. Or they can be bullies too, you know.
Oh, they can be bullies?
Yeah.
Tell me something
and the
about
way
that.
They present themselves. Well, just given the couple of problems that I've went through with a couple of community leaders in our community, you know. They like to show that they're in charge and they can take lead, and if you don't follow their lead, then I'll do away with whatever it is that you're trying to get from me. So that's what I mean by being a bully.
Right, going and just going for whatever it is that they feel as though it's right.
Exactly.
You know, overpowering.
Yes, it becomes a power struggle.
Yes, absolutely,
you're absolutely right. Yes.
So how is that beneficial for our youth though?
It doesn't because it's like so many feelings that are flying around, and you know, our kids end up losing out, you know. Things like, okay, let me give you one example. Okay. My son, he goes to the Lee Academy Pilot School over there on Dunbar Ave. And that school goes up to the 1st grade.
That was the Fifield School?
It used to be the Fifield School, yep. They utilize that building, yes. It's the Lee Academy at the Fifield, yeah, exactly. So his school goes up to the 1st grade, and as you know, he was in the 1st grade. And they were supposed to have a moving on ceremony, or some people call it a little graduation. Yeah. They usually do it in kindergarten, but since the school goes up to the 1st grade, they decided to do it, you know, in the 1st grade. Right. So, you know, given my background, and I don't know how you was brought up or what schools you went to here in our community. You know, when you're in kindergarten, you usually have your little caps and gowns, and you know, you have a little cake and you know, ice cream, and they give you little certificates, a little cute little thing for the kids.
Celebration,
you know? Yeah, celebration of them moving on, you know, them accomplishing what they needed to accomplish to go on to the next grade.
Give them that feel of graduating and you did it of accomplishments and early, you know, motivating.
Exactly. So it was a go at first, you know, their moving on celebration. Then when some of the parents wanted to have the cap and gown, because the principal, I don't want to call her name out, but the principal of
but we're speaking about the what school?
The Lee Academy.
Okay, so
the Lee Academy school, yes.
Sip some tea on that
one. So the principal there didn't want it. She didn't want the caps and gowns. Reason being was that there are some homeless families and they can't afford it.
Okay.
Now, some of these homeless families, kids come in there with some Jordans, and I know them Jordans are costly.
Yes.
Okay?
But are they Jordans or Jordans?
They're Jordans. Okay. Honey. You know the kids in the hood aren't coming in with Jordans. They're coming in with Jordans. Don't matter if they're sleeping in the cardboard box. They're coming in with some Jordans, okay?
Okay, you got that.
So she felt that it would be inappropriate to have the parents pay for caps and gowns to celebrate the moving on of their children. So we then turned around, the parents committee then turned around and said, Well, you know, we had fundraisers in the past. What about that money?
Right, yeah.
So it boiled down to the next issue is, well, some of the kids have disabilities. Now, my son, he does have a disability, he has a learning disability.
Okay.
But if he was sitting next to someone with a cap and gown, that wouldn't cause him to start to not focus on what's going on at the matter at hand and, you know, start to play with someone's hat and gown. Yeah, tassels. Yeah, he doesn't do that. He knows how to focus. You know, he can focus. So she used that as an excuse. So a couple of our parents...
Wait, before you say that, so because of some of these children has disabilities, in which they should have staff there that's able to...
And they do.
...assist these children with, you know...
their disabilities.
Right, so that means at the graduation, those staff will be in place, so therefore the children with the disabilities wouldn't be so distracted, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
They'll do a typical day at school.
Right,
You know, if the child's being obnoxious, take them out, let them walk, you know, let them vent, whatever they usually do on their typical day. Yes. So a couple of the parents that sits on the board, on the committee, decided to go above and beyond the principal and contact her boss to let them know, you know, we're having an issue, you know. We came to our principal. Before I get there, they also had a survey that went out to the first grade families to ask who would want to do the caps and gown, who doesn't. Majority wanted to.
Right.
So usually majority rules. You know, when you send out something like that, majority rules, you know. And who can't fit the bill, maybe the school can, you know, fit the bill for it, you know.
Absolutely, they're getting funding, I'm sure.
Exactly, exactly. So that was thrown away. That idea was thrown away. She didn't want that neither. So we then went above and beyond, which is her boss, and we contacted the boss and asked, you know, what's going on here, you know. The principal at that school, the principal at this school doesn't want to grant us and our children the moving on celebration, you know. So with the caps and gowns. So word got back to her, you know, that the parents called to complain on her. So the following week, a letter comes out and says that the moving celebration, which was supposed to be for June 24th, is canceled. And, you know, she'll let us know what will happen, you know, if the teachers will decide to do their own little individual things in their classroom or whatever have you. So we was totally upset about that, you know. So we started hopping on the phones, calling down to the school, down to Dorchester Ave, down to the school. Committee. And, you know, we got in contact with Charles Yancey's office. They were great, you know, with their assistance. We, you know, started forming some meetings so we can talk with her to find out, you know, where's the budget, you know, where's the money really going, you know. So she didn't like that, you know. So it was just a long, drawn-out process. In the end result, us parents went over to Unity's and asked them to donate their space. And they did. Unity's was so awesome. You know, they donated their space and their time.
They're on Dunbar Ave,
across the street from the school, yes. Okay. So us parents decided, you know, it was 5 of us, that we're just going to go ahead and do what we need to do for our kids, you know. And it was a great turnout, you know. A lot of kids did show up, you know. So it just showed us and showed the principal that families did want this, you know. You shouldn't take this away, you know. And then granted that some of our, I have a son, you know, some of our young black males don't even make it to high school, you know, nowadays. You know, they don't even graduate from high school. So for them, that mother, you know, or the parents of that child, that sense of encouragement, to have that picture of that child with their cap and gown on that stage, with, you know, that's really big in our community, you know, and it hurts when there's people not like us to come into our community and dictate what we should or what we shouldn't do. And it was really sad. It was really sad. I really was for the principal, you know. I was on board. I had sat on the hiring committee board. And, you know, I was part of that hiring process of that principal that came in, you know.
So you actually hired that principal
Exactly. And then she turned around and, you know, just showed me her rear, you know, and I just felt like that was unfair, you know. So yeah, that's what I mean about being bullies, and you know, the community leaders being bullies.
Bullies, right?
Yeah, you know, because she showed her power, you know, like I can control this. You want to go ahead and try to get me in trouble. Now, you know, I'm going to be devious and just cancel it now. Forget your kids, you know.
Right.
And it's just really sad.
So it is sad. You know, and it seems like she was being malicious as well.
Exactly.
You know, and so at the end, like, when it comes to the question of where's the budget, where's all our,
we're still trying to figure that out as we speak. Like, we're still meeting.
So what's the process with that?
Okay, the process, it's very long and drawn out. It seems like nobody really wants to like, well, her and her boss probably doesn't want to show where the money's going to, or whatever have you. But it was told to us that they had an end of the year cookout, and they hired some caterers to come cater to first graders, hot dogs and hamburgers. And it was said to be like a little over $5,000.
Hot dogs and hamburgers?
Hot dogs and hamburgers.
For how many kids?
There's 74 kids, plus their families or whatever. But
so you can get like 48 count in a pack, right?
Okay, thank you. $5,000 for that.
That's like $5.99?
It was a waste. It was a waste. That could have went towards their education. That could have went towards the captain.
Yeah. This is my tea, girl.
So yeah, this is what these school systems are doing. You know, just throwing away the money. Like, it's, you know, it has to start somewhere. These kids have to know that someone really cares about their education. And for a principal to say, I don't care. Them some
hot dogs.
Right, I don't care about you moving on to another grade, to celebrate that, celebrate your accomplishments and all. And then granted that these kids have learning disabilities, you should want to be throwing a big party for them, for them being able to pass their ABCs and their 1, 2, 3s and to spell and to read and to do all that, you know?
Yes.
So, yeah, so in the end result, she told the teachers to give them a little bit of ice cream and their certificate, and that's it, you know? And I feel like in our community, we don't take pride in our education, you know? It's like we want to what should I say? Applaud them for their wrongs, you know, for the wrong things that they're doing on the street, you know? Instead of saying, well, yeah, that's good that you passed on, or you're a straight A student, or you're an honor roll student, or, you know, you've made some achievements in school, you know?
Yeah.
So I just felt like that was the time and the place to do that, to say, you know, the most improved, or, you know, to get these awards, you know, let these kids know that there's more to life than ice cream and partying and playing all day.
And all that crap, you know?
Exactly.
Absolutely, I agree. And even whereas, you know, we go and we have the, we go back to these kids and, you know, and their education, and we speak about not taking it too seriously, you know, and I agree with you on that, because of the fact that we have these kids and, you know, they're in school, and they're in school the entire year. How many days of the school year is there?
Girl, don't get me to lie.
180 days, I want to, I'm lying.
Girl, I don't know. I don't know the exact days.
I don't know. I don't know what it was or what it is now. I don't even know. But I just know that when there's times, and you know, you have your child that's in school and throughout the entire school year, they don't want to do anything. But once it's time for them grades to come in, once grades are closing, then they want to cram everything in real quick, you know, just so that they can get by. As opposed to starting from the beginning and keeping it there from the beginning and all the way to the end of that semester term, and seeing what you have. You know, it's just a lack of procrastination that's going on around here, and it's so to the point whereas it's okay. You know what I'm saying? You pass.
It's okay because it's all about a money thing with them. You know, you usually see them commute from the suburbs to come over here for the jobs because it's higher paying. It's higher paying money here in the inner city. You know, but it's just. They're just like, okay, let's just push them through. Let's just push them through. I was trying to ignore it the whole time. And here you go, talking about shoe fly.
So ghetto, right?
Girl, let us talk about this fly.